Hare Krishna, everyone. For those who are joining here online, as well as those who will be watching the video later, I welcome you for this Saturday's program. And let us start with a short kirtan. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminite Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatu Deshatarine. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा I'll mute everyone. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य. You can also sing along with me and you can be on mute so that like, okay, in Zoom it doesn't allow like, okay, but let
Okay,
us
what song are you chanting? I'm sorry, I don't know what you're chanting.
this is the mantra that we chant before chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And I will tell you the
Oh,
significance of this. Yeah, this mantra, it actually protects us from any offenses that we do towards Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That way,
oh wow.
making our realization of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra very, very strong. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Now, one thing which I have told earlier also, please clap your hands as we sing this Maha Mantra. Because when we clap our hands, what happens is our karma starts changing. Everyone wants our karma to change. Our lines of the hands start changing when we clap our hands during the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And this is revealed in our scriptures. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Rama, Hare
Mhm.
Hare. Just mute, I'm muting others. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा, श्रील प्रभुपदा। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकचर्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद शिल भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकचर्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। कलयुग पावन हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा, we can all raise our hands, कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयो मुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोप कुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं परमानंद माधवम श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम। हरि ओम तत्सत। Hare Krishna. Once again, I thank you all for joining on this Saturday morning. I know weekends there are a lot of engagements, many times, like, okay, that could be there. but you are also sincere. Some of you have been joining regularly. And for those of you who are joining uh, today for the first time, okay, I welcome you. Everyone, okay, you are very, very special. Let us understand. I always try to refer to our purpose, why we come together. And when we are clear why we come together, then in that case, what happens is, because here is the thing, you do not come here to listen from me. You come here to listen from what Srila Prabhupada has given us. You come here to listen about Krishna. You are all attracted towards Krishna. That is what brings you here. Krishna is all attractive. He attracts everyone. Okay. Many of us, actually, this is a very nice thing that was mentioned by George Harrison, that everyone is attracted to Krishna. Everyone. Some know it and some do not know it. George Harrison is one of the famous Beatles player, and he he wrote this in the introduction to the Krishna book, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a very beautiful book about knowing the pastimes of Krishna. What has Krishna come here for? What does Krishna do? See, because we all love stories, right? We all love to, we all love, okay, when we talk to someone, we tell them, okay, so tell me what happened? What happened there? They're eager to know, right? Oh, it happened like this. This is what happened. Then what did you do? Then what did you do? So we're eager to learn like this. And in our day-to-day basis, in our day-to-day actions, like what we do is we are curious to know about many things. But when this heart gets curiosity to know more about Krishna, you know what is the result of that? Krishna, that supreme personality of Godhead, he says in Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajami ham, which means as you reciprocate with me, I reciprocate with you accordingly. Okay. So when you are interested to know about Krishna, Krishna, what is the immediate effect? Krishna is interested to know. So here Mel Prabhu is hearing, Rupa Mataji is hearing, Dhruva Mataji is hearing, Lal Mohan Prabhu is hearing. Okay, then Krishna wants to know, okay, tell me more about Rupa Mataji. Tell me more about Mel Prabhu. This is what is happening in the spiritual world. This is exactly what is happening in the spiritual world. And you know what happens as a result of that? When we sincerely pray to Krishna, that Krishna, somehow please make me an instrument of your compassion. Please make me an instrument of your love. Someone may pray that Krishna, please allow me to serve you. Then in the spiritual world, Krishna is thinking, okay, how can I engage this person in my service? Okay, my other devotee is having some trouble. Let me engage him. He will inspire us from within. Okay, why don't you help that person? And we'll see that, okay, somehow we are in a place we are not even supposed to go there. Okay, but we are somehow in a place and like, okay, we're thinking, okay, what do we do? And someone says that, okay, can you help me with this? And then, like, okay, we find a purpose there. This is how Krishna acts. In the initial phases, we may not get to understand each of these. But as our life passes through, as we continue in this journey, when we look behind in our journey and we'll see, oh, this is all what Krishna did in through all my trials, tribulations, like, okay, all the different times that I've been having. This is how Krishna was orchestrating my life. Okay, let me ask one question here. How many of you have actually seen the weaving of a sweater? You know those woolen cloths many people weave? Have you seen that? Like, you can raise your hands. How many of you seen that? Okay, Dhruva Mataji says you have seen that. No one else has seen that? Okay, Lalu Kaku has seen that. Okay, so okay, Mel Prabhu has also seen that. So when a sweater is being and when a woolen cloth is being woven, right? You will see that many people, like, okay, they have this round thing, like, okay, some round borders, like, okay, many people, if they are doing very nice design, right? They have some round border, like, okay, so, it is a plastic or a metallic thing on which the cloth is put in, and on that they do this woolen weaving, okay, or even some designer weaving when they do. But when you see when they start weaving, right, we are only seeing the side which is the rear side, and on the rear side it looks like, okay, what is this all thread and all these things, like it looks, you have no clarity what is happening here. But when the weaving gets done, when you actually turn this, like whoever is an expert weaver, when that person turns this and you see, oh wow, this is such a wonderful design. Have you anytime noticed that even if you take any of your handicrafted items, if you just see the rear side, you think, okay, what kind of design is this? Okay. Many of the Matajis, like, okay, who are here, like, okay, as if you wear some handicrafted thing, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. So you will see that, okay, this is this. It looks so odd, like, okay, but when you see the actual front side, you will see, like, wow, this came out so well. You know, this is how our spiritual journey is. If you understand this, because when we are going through the journey, right, at that time we will not realize what is happening. We'll think that, okay, why is, sometimes we may feel that, okay, what am I doing actually? I have just started chanting my rounds. Okay. I'm just trying to hear about Krishna. And sometimes people may get a question, why is Krishna doing this to me? Okay. And but as we progress in our journey, as we have matured in our journey, see, a little child, when the child is born, right, the child is immature. But as the person grows up, many people, they grow up as an adult, but they are still immature. That is a different thing. but but when a person matures up, okay, then they understand, like, okay, oh, okay, I have been through these difficulties. If you look at it, I have learned through these difficulties. Many people go through difficulties, and there are yet different type of people who grow through difficulties. If we really want to grow through our difficulties, because let us admit the fact that, okay, each of us, no matter whatever situation we are in, we'll have some or the other difficulties. The material world puts us in difficulties. Okay. If we want to grow through our difficulties, then we have to take shelter of Krishna. That is why we are studying this Bhagavad Gita, that how to take shelter of Krishna. Very simple example. See, there is sunlight. Okay. You, if I'm facing the sun is right here. It's bright. But now, if for instance, if I just turn my back towards the sun, what will I see? I will see just shadow. Okay. Now, even let's take another example. If there is a mountain, okay, and if I am standing on the side of the mountain which is covered, where the mountain is covering the sun, and I'm just standing at the foot of the mountains, I will see it completely dark actually. I might feel, oh, it is so dark. And in darkness, what happens? We have no clarity which way we will go, right? Imagine yourself in a dark room. Yesterday we had a power outage here. So in the dark room, what happens? We'll be like, just like this, scrambling to find the place to go to the next place. But when there is light, what happens? Is the darkness there? As soon as the light is there, the darkness disappears. Our scripture says, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya hoy andhakar. Jaha Krishna, taha nai Mayaro adhikar. Krishna is like sun and Maya is darkness. Wherever there is wherever there is Krishna, Maya does not have any right to stay there. Out you go. So, how many of us want Maya in our life? And how many of us want Krishna in our life? If we want Krishna in our life, then we will be completely freed from darkness. What happens in if there is no darkness? See, think about very simple scenarios in our life. What gives us anxiety? Not knowing what will happen next gives us anxiety. Not knowing that, okay, will I be accepted or not, gives us anxiety. When we take shelter of Guru and Krishna, what happens is we have a purpose in our life. What does the purpose in our life do? Does it makes us confident that, okay, no matter what, if I just stick to this, then my life is successful. This story of, like, as we go through the journey of Bhagavad Gita, what we will learn is there are various qualities that we will learn through this. As we go each step by step, there'll be various things that we will be putting into our heart as Srila Prabhupada has taught us. And I want you to start making notes so that, like, okay, what will happen is, see, you are all very special. Okay, you are taking so much time to understand this Bhagavad Gita. As we understand this, start making notes. Even though, like, okay, you may have heard this again, you may have heard this in the past, but still start making notes. You may have to hear it sometimes multiple times so that, like, okay, we are clear in concept. Because if the foundation is strong, what will happen? The building which will stay on top of that foundation will sustain there. If our foundation is like sand, what will happen? The building will collapse anytime. Okay. There sometimes we may hear a lot of things, but if we don't capture it in our heart, then what happens? We'll forget with time. Even understanding also has different kind of levels. First is hearing, but hearing can be of two types. One is hearing and absorbing, and another is hearing and it goes from the other ear. Thank you. So one is that is hearing. When we hear, after that, the next step is understanding. Okay, are we understanding? We have to question this to us. Am I understanding what is being said? Am I understanding? So if you are not understanding, when at the end of the class, we will have question answers specific to these classes, or, like, let's say some prior classes, you had a realization that, okay, yes, I thought I understood, but I did not understand it. So then we can have those question answers. And after understanding, there is another step, that is accepting. Because sometimes we may understand it, but it's like, I understood it, but I had a different thought actually. Okay, so I may not accept it. And when we don't accept it, what happens? We may have, so there are two ways. If we don't accept, there are two things that can happen. One is, I may question that. Okay, can you tell, like, okay, you told this thing, but I have a different conception. Okay, so please help me understand this thing, what you said. Okay, so that is accepting. Or the other thing is, like, okay, if I don't accept, I'll be like, okay, I don't want to ask any questions, but I'm done with it. Or I'll keep continue to attend, but I'll not ask questions. In that case, what happens? The doubts remain in our mind. And what does doubts do? Doubts will make us cloggy. Okay. We'll be clogged. It is like a cloud, it will remain. Sorry, my daughter has made one, since I was having some cold, she made some warm water with lemon and turmeric to for my throat actually. We were talking about the throat of Lalu Kaku. So, so we, and so we were talking about the stage of accepting. First is hearing, second is understanding, third is accepting. And once after we have accepted is, accepted it. The fourth stage is desiring. Desiring. Okay. So when we hear about these, when we hear about different qualities through this Bhagavad Gita, we should desire for those qualities. Now, I want to ask one question here. Does anyone remember? I mentioned this in a previous class. What is the mood that we should hear the Bhagavad Gita? What was that mood in which we should hear the Bhagavad Gita? What was the mood in which we should hear the Bhagavad Gita?
Oh, if I'm understanding correctly, you say mode, like the
No,
way I
mood.
should receive it.
Uh,
Mood.
the
Oh,
mood.
happiness in the heart. Is that like
Yes,
with the receiving heart?
yes, very correct. With a receiving heart. Yes. Any anyone else? Yes, Anangmai?
In a mood where we're ready to listen and learn, in a submissive, humble mood?
Yes. In a in a submissive, humble mood. You anyone else wants to mention anything? Okay, so you both mentioned the right thing in a receiving, in a submissive, humble mode. But what and
Love for
that also,
Krishna.
sorry,
Oh, I speak with myself. Love for Krishna.
with love for Krishna. Yes. So you all,
uh,
and I want to say
when
one
you
thing.
feel sense of connection, uh, we can listen.
Sorry,
Feel peace, devotion, and sense of connections.
yes,
Mm.
that is also right. And I want to add one more thing here. What Srila Prabhupada is saying is, so let us understand Bhagavad Gita is a conversation happening between whom? Arjun and Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada is telling, if we try to understand Bhagavad Gita, there are numerous versions of Bhagavad Gita given. Okay. And in this, Prabhupada, as a pure devotee, is revealing the Bhagavad Gita to us. It is a divine science, it's a transcendental science. How will Bhagavad Gita be revealed to us? Prabhupada is giving us this secret, and please hear it very carefully. Prabhupada is saying we should hear it, yes, with a mood of receiving, with a mood of surrender, that mood of surrender that Arjun had for Krishna. Okay. We should pray that please give me that mood. Okay. So that I can listen it with that mood that Arjun listened this Bhagavad Gita. Then what will happen is, then the reception will be the 100% actually. Sometimes what happens is, like, have you seen, like, when we talk on cell phones, right? So when we talk on cell phone, like, okay, if we go underneath the tower or something, I mean, underneath uh, those flyovers, or like, okay, in a poor, especially in Dev Sadan temple, the signal is poor. We might be talking, hello, yeah, 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 and then suddenly the voice goes, in a poor network. And then what is our next thing? Hello, hello, hello. And even worse is like, okay, even versus, if you tend to hear part of it. Hello. So, so if it is not a poor, if the reception is poor, then we miss the message. We miss part of it sometimes. So we want to increase our receptivity. Think about it. You are spending a invaluable time. Okay. And we all, I mean, I would beg you that, okay, when we do these prayers, you should beg for, I beg for prayers from Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, from a spiritual master, from the acharyas, that, okay, I become a medium to communicate, like, okay, what what I can give to you, what is most beneficial for you. And at the same time, you also pray for me, so that I can, those words can come from my mouth, which is transformational for yourself, and it's transformational for myself also. That way we can all, when we all pray together in that same mood, what happens is we all get benefited. So this is the mood of understanding Bhagavad Gita. Now we talked about like the mood of this. Now let us understand this. There are total 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. And in this total 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, there are total of 700 verses. It's a conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. And there are some verses that are spoken by Dhritarashtra and Sanjay. But before I even go to that, before I go to the first verse, please hear carefully as I share the background of how this Bhagavad Gita started. I already did mention about that there is a impending war. How does this impending war come into picture? There are two brothers, Dhritarashtra and Pandu. Okay. And they are, uh, Dhritarashtra is the elder one, and they are, one of them should be, one of them is to become the king. But, and in India, and the entire world earlier used to be called as Bharatvarsh. Okay. That is the entire world was one country, like, okay, Bharat, which is now called as India. India is the name given by the Britishers, but earlier the entire country was called as Bharat. And the world was ruled by this, these, the kings that was coming in this same dynasty as Dhritarashtra and Pandu. So when they were to be throned at that time, Dhritarashtra was the, although being the elder one, and the elder one is the most eligible one, but he was blind. Okay, so a blind person cannot become the king. So Pandu was made the king. Okay, and Pandu was a very virtuous ruler. He was very virtuous in his qualities and he was very brave. But somehow or other, Dhritarashtra, he felt very bad that his brother became the king and he has not become the king. So he had an internal desire. Okay, I did not become the king. I want my son to become the king. Okay. In course of time, like, okay, Dhritarashtra had 100 sons, 100 sons. Okay, and Dhritarashtra's wife, her name is Gandhari. She is a very chaste lady. Because her husband is blind, so she also took a vow that I will also tie my eyes with a band so that I will not see the world because my husband is blind. And somehow the 100 sons that were born to Dhritarashtra were very envious in nature. You know, this envy brings cruelty in a person. Okay. First level of envy is like, okay, one person feels very bad. We were talking about this in the session that we had 2 weeks before. You know, sometimes what happens is when we hear about others, oh, you know what? He just bought a new house. We might say, oh yeah, very good, very good. But in our heart, we may not be feeling happy. Okay, in our heart, we'll be like, oh, he also used to do that kind of a job only, which I did. How did he buy that big a house? Okay, we should watch out for these patterns in our heart because this pattern is a clear sign of envy. When we hear the glories of others, and at that time, if there is a pain in our heart, that means it is a sign of envy. Someone may come and say, oh, you know what? I got 90% marks in my exams. We'll be like, congratulations. But in our heart, we'll be thinking, I did not even see this guy study. How the hell did he get 90%? Okay. So if that is something that is going in our heart, that is a problem. Okay. So, and Krishna says in the 9th chapter, first verse, he says to Arjun that, oh Arjun, I am revealing this Bhagavad Gita to you. This divine science is being revealed to you because you are my friend and you are not envious. Okay. So if we harbor envy in our heart, see, envy is there in all of us. Let me first be very honest. Because if envy is not there in us, then we'll not be in this world. Okay. Because of envy, we landed here. Soft landing into this material world. Okay. So when we talk about these qualities or these not so good qualities, they are called as anarthas. That means these are the unwanted qualities which have been harbored in our heart. And because of this, we are away from Krishna. Because of this, somehow or other, we have landed into this world. What is our objective within this world? That is, we want to purify ourselves. Why do we want to become a pure devotee? Because when we become a pure devotee, we can understand what Krishna wants out of us and we can act in that way. And how can we become a pure devotee? We can become a pure devotee by remaining, so by serving a pure devotee, by understanding, by becoming a genuine disciple. A disciple, see, Arjun here is understanding his Bhagavad Gita. Okay. He's he is understanding this in a very submissive mood. He's asking a lot of questions. As you go through this, you will see he asks a lot of questions. He tries to question Krishna in various ways. And through this, we will understand how to ask questions. Okay. What are the questions? Because when Arjun asks questions, right, a lot of our questions will also get answered. Some things that we may not know which were our questions, they will also get answered. But Arjun is a very genuine disciple. We will understand how Arjun becomes a disciple also. Because Arjun, initially, he was a friend only of Krishna. He thought himself to be a friend. But how he becomes a disciple, we will understand that. And so back to Dhritarashtra and Pandu. Pandu had 5 sons. Their names were Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, and Sahadev. They were very specially blessed. And Pandu's wife Kunti, he had 2 wives, Kunti and Madri. Kunti had 3 sons, Yudhishthir, Bhim, and Arjun, and Madri had 2 sons, Nakul and Sahadev. Kunti was specially empowered by sage Durvasa Muni to invoke the demigods for giving them child. And so these 5 children were very, very special. Yudhishthir was called as, he was the son of Yamraj or Dharma. So he was relig he was religiosity personified. He was then Bhim was he was obtained from Vayudev, or the demigod of wind, and he was the source of, he had the strength of 10,000 elephants. That was the strength of Bhim. 10,000 elephant. One elephant has so much strength. Bhim had the strength of 10,000 elephant. Then the third son was Arjun. Arjun was obtained by the demigod named Lord Indra, who is the boss of all demigods. all the demigods report to him. And he was the perfect archer. And Nakul and Sahadev, they were begotten from the demigod named Ashwini Kumars, who are actually uh, they are the herbal medical practitioners among the demigods. So Nakul and Sahadev had been empowered with that science. Plus, they had other knowledge also. They had very good knowledge about intuition. So this was the Pandavas, who are the Pandavas are the sons of Pandu, these five children, and on the other side we have the Kauravas, who are very envious 100 sons. Now, Duryodhan was the eldest among the sons of Dhritarashtra, and he was the most envious. And his maternal uncle, Shakuni, would always give him these poisonous ideas on how he can kill or torture the Pandavas. So right from the very childhood, they tried to kill the sons of uh, Pandu in various ways. They tried to poison Bhim, thinking that okay, if this guy is killed, then okay, we can really get a handle on the Pandavas. Then they tried to kill them under the as they grew up. Like Bhim was saved from that. Krishna kept protecting them as they grew up. They built one royal palace made of lac and wax so that these Pandavas, and they gifted it to these Pandavas through Dhritarashtra so that these Pandavas could be entrapped over there and they can be killed over there. But somehow the Pandavas escaped from there. So similarly, numerous such incidents happened, and it came to a point where the Pandavas were given half the kingdom, and it was a smaller kingdom, and they were given just a land, but Krishna arranged so that like, okay, they had a very nice kingdom. See, the devotees of the Lord are always protected by the Lord, and the Lord always gives them everything. One who loves Krishna, right? That person need not really think that, okay, I need this. Before that person never develops a desire. Okay, he only has one desire that, okay, how can I love Krishna more and more? What can I do that will be pleasing to Krishna? Not just thinking about Krishna, but in every exchange. Like, let's say if I'm exchanging something with you, okay, if I become a genuine devotee, I will always be thinking, okay, how can I really, even if someone exchanges bad things with us, at that time, like, okay, we might always be thinking that, okay, oh, let me think, like, okay, this person told me this, but he's a devotee. I'm sure that Krishna must be thinking about that with me, so I should accept this is what Krishna wanted to tell me. But we will still keep the devotee under high standards. That is the nature of the Pandavas. Pandavas were always very, very humble, even though they were tortured, but they never saw anything bad in the Kauravas or the Duryodhana and his 99 brothers. They always saw good in them. But Krishna always kept saving them from the difficulties. And so Duryodhan was very envious that they also now have a kingdom and they were becoming popular, because one who is kind, one who is virtuous, their popularity will increase anyways. And and so Krishna, when Duryodhan started becoming envious at that point of time, they invited this Pandavas for a game of dice. It's like a gambling game. And kings during that time, they could not say no to gambling. That was the rule of that time. So in the gambling match, the Pandavas lost their entire kingdom. And then they said, what do you have else? They lost themselves also. So they became the servants of these guys. And then they put their wife also on the dice. He lost their wife, Draupadi also. And the Kauravas, they are so envious. They thought of disrobing this wife in public. Just imagine the fact, for a woman, chastity is the most important thing. The most important thing for a woman is chastity. And the Kauravas, Duryodhan ordered his next brother Dushashan that, okay, why don't you disrobe like this Draupadi? And Draupadi, just for the moment, think about this. She has the most powerful men as her husbands. Bhim has a strength of 10,000 elephants. Yudhishthir is Dharma personified. And Arjun is the best archer of the world who can defeat not only any material person, but he can defeat the demigods also. But at that point of time, no one moved. In that, when Dushashan was trying to disrobe Draupadi, there present was Bhishma. Bhishma is such a warrior who could defeat everyone in this world alone. He did not need anything. Bhishma did not say a word. There was the teachers of the Pandavas and Kauravas, Dronacharya. He did not utter a word. Draupadi reached out to Dhritarashtra, the king, and Dhritarashtra was so blind in love for this his demoniac son that he did not say anything. In the incidents that are happening at that time are not just meant for that time. Each and every incident teaches something. Draupadi, when she was reaching out, like, okay, please save me, and this Dushashan is after her. He dragged this chaste lady, Draupadi, by her hair, and he was trying to disrobe. In the assembly, okay, while all the most powerful people of the globe are sitting there, they are not doing anything. At that time, she called out, "Oh Krishna, oh Damodar, oh Madhav, please save me." Till when she was calling, she was trying to hold on to her sari and like, okay, just stop Dushashan. But Dushashan was so strong, she felt okay, she could not do anything. And at one point of time, she let it go, and then she said, okay, oh Krishna, please save me. Krishna was in Dwarka. This is happening in Hastinapur in Delhi. If you look at in terms of, it is like um, approximately 1,500 kilometers. Just I'm just saying approximately. Krishna Krishna was playing he had his queens and he was playing a game there with his queens. And when Draupadi started calling, then Krishna got up and Krishna said, like, okay, Draupadi is calling me from Hastinapur. I, then she's in danger. And then Krishna and his queens Satyabhama and Rukmini says, "Okay, go Krishna, go, go, go." Then Krishna says, no, but she's not surrendering unto me. That is why I'm not able to go right now. Then they're saying, no, no, but go, Krishna, go, because Draupadi is still holding her sari. And when Draupadi understands that she cannot hold it, she gives up the sari and she starts crying. Before the tear comes out of her eyes, Krishna is there present. 1,500 kilometers traveled in less than a moment. Krishna reaches there. And Krishna, who is the Supreme Lord, he is the unlimited. He manifests in his unlimited form of sari. Okay. And and then Dushashan, who is very strong, he keeps pulling the sari, pulling the sari, pulling the sari. it becomes an endless endeavor, but he is not able to disrobe her. What is our condition in this case? We are also trying to make all material arrangements, isn't it? We want all material success. We see that, okay, if we have a good 401k pension, we have a good medical health insurance, if we have nice people who are around us who will take care of us, in the in that moment when we need them the most, Hare Krishna, no one will show up. But if we make it a practice to take shelter of Krishna moment by moment, as our Lalu Kaku was mentioning, he's completely internally chanting all the time. We can understand. He was sharing about me, but I am very, very grateful for this wonderful personality we have in midst of us. A very, very sincere devotee. When we when I ask like, okay, what we studied in our class, he is the first to raise his hands. I don't allow him to speak because I think that, okay, maybe others will get a chance because he will summarize everything. What is very, very important is we internalize this fact that Krishna will never cheat us. He will never, never cheat us. The material people can cheat us. We can cheat others, thinking that, okay, we will not be noticed. Others can cheat us, thinking that they will not be noticed. But Krishna will never cheat us. If we try to cheat Krishna, then he's the best of the cheaters. No one can, no one can beat Krishna in cheating. But if we genuinely take shelter of Krishna, he will be there by us 1,000,000%. There is no doubt about it. That Krishna who manifested as the unlimited saris, he saved Draupadi, and Dushashan ultimately gave up. And he couldn't do that. He was so powerful, Dushashan, but he completely gave up. And ultimately, the Pandavas were exiled. It came to a point where um, they were put to exile for in the forest for 14 years, and they were told that when they come back, they will get again half of the kingdom. Remaining half will be ruled by Dhritarashtra or Duryodhan, the eldest son of Dhritarashtra. Pandavas spent 14 years in the forest. When they come back, they ask their kingdom back. They are not being given the kingdom. My dear friends, Pandavas are, see, I want to tell this. See, if I or you go to a forest, okay, and come back after a few years and say that, okay, I need that kingdom. Now, if we are telling, "Okay, come on, let's go, get lost," that's a different thing. But Pandavas are, they are the real, uh, they are real eligible candidates to get that kingdom. Yudhishthir is the eldest son in the next generation. He's elder than Duryodhan. And as per his right, he's supposed to own the full 100% of the kingdom. He has been assured 50% of the kingdom when he went to the forest, half the kingdom. But when he comes back, he's not being given that. Yudhishthir says, okay, no problem. I don't need the kingdom. Just, we are 5 brothers. Just give us 5 villages. We are okay with that. Can you understand the heart? A grateful heart is like a one that is willing to take least and least and least. And what is the other side? An ungrateful heart wants more and more and more. I need that, I need this, I need this, everything I want, but still they are not happy. Okay. So at that time, Duryodhan says, forget the kingdom. I will not give you that much land which is there underneath a pin. Now, underneath a pin, okay, understood that they are all powerful. We also cannot stand in that much land which is underneath a pin. Okay, we are talking about microorganisms. Okay, so when it comes to this point, then Krishna suggests, then Yudhishthir Maharaj asks Krishna as their mentor, as their counselor. See, they are so fortunate. Can you imagine the fortune of Yudhishthir and his brothers? They are getting direct mentorship from Krishna. Okay, what do we do in this case, Krishna? Then Krishna says we should we should have a war with them because Krishna also has a purpose here. Krishna's purpose is यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्. And then it is also परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. So Krishna comes to this world with the intent that whenever there is decline of religion, an increase of upward trend of irreligion, that time Krishna says that, okay, in different yugas, in different millenniums, I come here to establish the religion. And what does he do as part of establishing the religion? He says, Paritranaya sadhuram. I protect the sadhus. I protect my devotees. Vinashaya cha dushkritam. I destroy the demons. Dharma sanstharpanarthaya. I establish dharma. Sambhavani yuge yuge. And a millennium after millennium, I have been doing this. So, so that same Krishna, he he suggested that we should have a war, Arjun. We should have a war, Yudhishthir. And so a war is decided. And that is the setup of how this Bhagavad Gita is started. And now both the parties are assembled to for the war. They have all formed their allies. They have come together. The Pandavas are half the size of the warriors that are there. They, there was, as I mentioned earlier, they both go to Krishna, both sides, they go to Krishna asking for help. Krishna asks that, okay, what do you need? You want this 900,000 soldiers that I have who have never won a battle, who have never lost a battle, or you want me? I will not be fighting. Arjun was given the first chance, and Arjun says, Krishna, I want you only. And then Duryodhan says, ha, fool. I knew that this guy is foolish. He will make that mistake. Okay. And he just goes off thinking that he has won the war with 900,000 soldiers who has never won a war. He takes this 900,000 soldiers and Arjun takes Krishna only. Krishna asks Arjun, why did you take me? I will not even fight. So at that time, Arjun says, it doesn't matter, Krishna, whether I win or lose, but I want you only. Now we know the result of the fight that Arjun won. Okay, the Pandavas won this. What does it tell us? That means if we are by the side of Krishna, we will be victorious. We will be victorious 100%. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So with if we take Krishna on our side, then we'll be victorious. And how can we take Krishna on our side? That is Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita, Man mana bhava mad bhakto mad yaji namaskaru. He says, he gives 4 instructions. Always think of me. Always think of me. Give your mind to me. Always think of me in your mind. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me. That means you offer your pranams to Krishna. And whatever you accept or whatever you give, do that always as an offering to me. Offer everything to me and then accept it. So that means if we remember these principles, then we will be victorious. We may have a starting in our journey, but if we are sincere in this practice, then ultimately Krishna will protect us. Now, I wanted to go to the first verse of the Bhagavad Gita. I know we have not reached there yet, but I want to take 5 to 7 minutes to share something. How many of us really, really sincerely want to become a devotee of Krishna? How many of you really feel that I really want to give my heart to Krishna? See, if you really genuinely think that we want to give our heart to Krishna, then I want to request you for one thing. See, we told about Krishna. He says that millennium after millennium, in every yuga I appear. So in this Kali Yuga, or this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, that same Krishna, he appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. And for a devotee, if we really want to become a genuinely good devotee, there are 2, 3 principles that we have to remember. First is we should do anything that is favorable for bhakti, and we should avoid anything that is unfavorable to bhakti. Obviously, devotees chant. So I request all of you to chant the holy name. Even if you are chanting, let's say if you have just started, if you chant 1 round also, but do that regularly. Okay, don't be like, okay, one day you chant 2 rounds and then after 10 days you chant 1 round. After 15 days, 5 rounds. That will not be very effective. Yes, you can, let's say on weekend you have more time, you can chant 5 rounds, 10 rounds, or whatever if you want. But regularly fix a pattern and tell it to someone you can trust that, okay, I am doing this many rounds. So you if you think that someone who is more advanced, then you can tell them that, okay, please pray for me so that I can continue to chant. That way, what will happen is, like, slowly we will make progression. Okay, because we all need grace. Okay, through our millions of lifetimes, we have always looked away from Krishna. That is why you will see that, okay, if you observe our pattern, you will see that, okay, although I really want to become a devotee, I want to become very favorable for Krishna, but you will see that somehow or the Maya will have some trick for you. Okay, if for someone it might be a mobile phone. I will just watch this mobile phone for 2 minutes only. And at the end of it, you will see, oh, 30 minutes gone. Like that. Or I might just go and meet this friend for 5 minutes. 3 hours gone. Okay. And if you just observe, at that point of time, we may have not remembered Krishna even for one moment. So we have to carefully analyze ourselves. Okay, where exactly is my time going? If I have to give my mind, if I have to understand Krishna, if I have to remember this, we have to we have to start analyzing ourselves. In the material world, what happens is we analyze, but we analyze others. This person is like this. He's always treating me like this. So someone who is good to us, we think, okay, they are our good friends. Or someone who is bad to us, like we think, this person is always like, okay, he's a critic only. He always talks like this. But we have to rise above this, where we understand that, okay, they are all, yeah, we have to take those associations which are favorable, but we have to understand that everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna. Everyone, each and everyone is a child of Krishna. Not just persons, but even insects also, even an ant also. That ant is also a child of Krishna. When we look at flower, a devotee looks at flower like, okay, oh, this is such a wonderful creation. Is in rose also there are so many colors, zillion colors, and I did not make it. Neither did any scientist make it. Okay, who made it? Of course, Krishna. When the devotee is driving, they will see, look at the trees and say, there are so many varieties of trees. Who made this? Arey, I did not make it. Neither any scientist made it. Can you understand? In the seed of a banyan tree, there is an entire banyan tree there. In the seed of a mango, there is an entire tree there. Krishna is saying this. Look, I am giving for my children to enjoy. I want them to have these things. See, think about it. If you had only one rice only, whole day you will eat only rice. Morning you wake up, rice soup, rice in lunch, rice dinner, and there is nothing else, not even salt. It will be the most terrorizing thing. Like, okay. But Krishna, even though we are in this world, in this material world, but Krishna has still given us so much. For a grateful heart, we can be grateful at every moment. So much Krishna you're giving me, I'm not able to remember you only. I'm talking about myself. See, I'm just thinking like, so much you give me that I'm not able to remember you all the time. Okay, not even for every moment, I forget only you. So if we try to understand, see, Krishna is telling, I am the taste in water. He's telling it in Bhagavad Gita, I am the taste in water. Think about it. Okay, if you are very thirsty, right? Someone will say, okay, no matter what, you may take coffee, you may take tea, this, that, you may take some pop, this, that, like whatever you take, but the satisfaction that you have after taking water, right? That cannot be compensated with anything else. That satisfaction is given by Krishna. Krishna is telling the taste in each and every vegetable, fruit, I am giving it. He's telling it in Bhagavad Gita. I am giving that taste so that we can enjoy it. And that same Krishna, so as a devotee, what we should do is we should understand there are some days which are very favorable for Krishna, where even though we are starter packs, see, like you have those jump start cables, right? In car, let's say the battery is gone, you put the jump start cable. So there are some jump start days. What are those jump start days? They are the days of Ekadashi, and there are few other days which are called Madhav Tithi. One who observes these days, and during those days he chants, he remembers Krishna, he tries to do a little more than what he's generally doing. Supposing one is he does 4 rounds, 16 rounds, like whatever number of rounds they are doing. If they think that, okay, I want to do a little more on those days, they may be struggling, but little more they endeavor, in those days. Okay, just by doing this thing, what will happen is we will make very steady, advanced progress. We will really spike our progress. And we should not think ourselves as, okay, oh, I am, see how I did. I did such a nice progress. This, if we are proud of whatever we are doing, then what to say, like, okay, then then whatever we did, all our points are zeroed out. It is better that we would have not done that. Okay, see, the thing is, when we do something out of love, right? We may not have any love, but we will do it in a way that Krishna, I want to develop love. If we may see some other people, okay, they are not doing anything, we should think that, okay, they already have love for you. That is why they are not doing anything. But look at me, Krishna, I don't have any love for you. Okay, I want to develop love. And so, in this age of Kali, Krishna has manifested as Lord Chaitanya. So, very soon, Lord Chaitanya's appearance day or his birthday is coming. But Krishna has another brother, his name is Balram. Balram manifested as Lord Nityananda. So in the temple, we see we have two personalities who stand like this. They are Gaur Nitai. So one of them is Lord Chaitanya and one of them is Nityananda. So Nityananda's birthday is also coming in less than 2 weeks. And the personality who called Lord Chaitanya to this planet, his name is Advait Acharya. Okay, and Advait Acharya's birthday, or we don't call birthday, we call it as appearance day. Just for the sake of simplicity, I'm saying his appearance day is next week only. Let me see. In Detroit, it is 4th of February. That is Tuesday. So it is that close. So I want all of us to chant on that day and on Advait Acharya's day, if possible, come to the temple. Even if it is for 15, 20 minutes on that day, it is a very highly potent day. Okay, those who are of you who are in Detroit, you can come. If you are not in Detroit, you can visit wherever your place is, if it is possible. Or if it is not possible, then try to chant more, a little more than you do. Um, I don't know whether in temple they will have special programs on that particular day. Generally, if they don't do it on those days, then they do it on weekends. But what will happen is when we see when we give special attention to those days which are dear to Krishna, that means what happens? We are attracting his attention. When we give more attention to those personalities who are dear to Krishna, when we try to serve those people who are dear to Krishna, like Srila Prabhupada, then what happens? We automatically attract his attention. So I want all of us to really make, like we all can together make a lot of progress together. And we should do it not in a spirit of, oh, I did better and I did less. No, we should try to hold each other's hands that, okay, if someone is falling back, we should try to lift each other up. See, today I am saying, okay, and I might be falling back. So I would request all of you to hold me there. Okay, because in the school of thought, like, okay, we cannot, if we are just running the race alone and we reach first and we get the first prize, there is some joy in it, but it is not a lot of joy. But when we are running the race together and we win as a group, and in every stage we have fun as a group, then it is a lot of immense joy actually. And with this, I want to tell one short story and I will just close this. This is a story about in a in a third world country, there is a photographer who had been there from one of the European countries, a very, very popular photographer. Okay, and this is a photographer who has won a lot of awards, and he went to the third world country, a very poor country, poor in the sense materially poor. So he goes there and he has gone there to capture some pictures. See, many times what happens is, like, okay, the reporters, the photographers, when they take pictures from some place other people are not able to reach out to, and they showcase that story, they gain a lot of popularity through that. So he had gone there with some kind of an objective, and what he did is he saw that there are children, like, okay, who are very malnutritioned. Okay, they did not have proper clothes and they were very malnutritioned. You can look at them and see. So he brought a bag of chocolates, of course, from European countries, and he he told that, okay, he told the children, do you like chocolates? They all said yes, yes, yes. Okay, then we will have a race. Okay, and he kept this chocolate underneath a tree, and he said that, okay, whoever runs first, they will that person will get the chocolate, all the chocolate. Let's see. And he said, and he blew a whistle. As soon as he did that, all the children, they started running. And then suddenly what happened? One of the child, he fell down. So as soon as the child fell down, all the other children, they turned back and they went ahead and held this particular child, and they lifted him, and they all held their hand together, and they all started running with him. So they reached the tree together. Now, when they all reached the tree, now the photographer was shocked actually that what is this? Like, he thought one person would only win. So he said that, okay, hey, what is it? Why is it that, okay, you all ran together? So the other person said, we could not see him falling down. Like, okay, but you could have got the one of the child who was running very fast. He said, you could have run this. You could have won this together. All the chocolates were yours. He said, no, no, that would have not been fun because sharing is caring. He said this. Now, this person who comes from the European country, he was shocked because he did not grow up with that culture. It was like my tiffin box, my this, my that. Right? That is how he grew up. And these children who who do not have so much facilities, who are so malnutrition, they are teaching him a lesson of his life. They are telling him that even though they do not have anything, but still they are willing to share. So this story really inspired me. I just thought of sharing so that we all develop that mood of sharing this, sharing whatever we have received with others, being compassionate to others, because many may not be able to take it sometimes when we try to give, but then we should always understand that, okay, that we should pray for them, that Krishna, please, if you so desire, please bless them so that one day they understand. Sometimes it could be our family members. They may not be able to understand uh, what we are trying to give them. See, even within giving also, there are so many things. We can give them gifts, we can give them books, but the highest thing that one can give to other is Krishna. Because just by giving Krishna, we can give someone food. We can give a beggar food for 2 days. But how many days can we feed someone? But if we give them Krishna, if they get Krishna, then in that case, Krishna will take care of them completely, just as a Supreme Father does. Just as a regular father also takes care of his child, what to talk about the Supreme Father. So with this, I will end. And if we have any questions or comments, suggestions, I know I went a little over time, but we can talk about that. Hare Krishna, Granth Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And I am very sorry I could not get to the point for the first verse, but we'll start from there on the next session.